I would love to know the career path that you are currently in. So if you've gained skills as a data scientist, data analyst, and the likes, please let me know. So please feel free to type in what you currently do and what you have skills as. So if you're a data scientist, type it. If you're a data analyst, just type it. I would really love to see that. So I have my eyes in the chat, so I'll be reading your career path and what you currently do right now. So again, it's a good way to just get to know ourselves and what we do. So okay. Okechukwu says is a data scientist and computer science lecturer. Amazing. Thanks for being here with us. I would love to see more responses, right? So guys, keep it coming. Wow, it's just always very good for us to get to know ourselves, get to know what we do, and so that this session is properly tailored and aligned to, your career path. So, and I see that most people that we have here are, related to the career path that is like of major focus. And that's the careers for the future and all of that. So I see more responses. We have sorry, just a minute. Okay, we have Blessing. She's a data analyst. Then we have Bright, a data analyst. Then we have Sunday, a data scientist and software developer. Then we have Shubomi. She is just getting into project management. Awesome. Then we have John. He's an internal auditor seeking a new path in data analysis. Amazing. Then we have Zachariah. He is still learning data analytics. And Hassan is a data scientist. Saidu Fatima, okay, a social safeguard officer. And Sheung, financial data analyst. Okay, awesome. We have Gladys, project manager. It's so amazing to have everyone here. And I see that most of you have the, careers for the future, but I'll get into that as we proceed, right? Oyekule is a data analyst and compliance officer. And then we have Progress. He is a 3D modeling using SolidWorks software. Okay, nice to have everyone here. Then we have Mandy. He is an AWS cloud practitioner and project manager. Olushola, administrative officer. Awesome. So I'm going to, you can keep it coming. I'll just move on to the next thing on this call now. So it's so good to have everyone here on the call, like I said. And as I was saying, this session is going to be an interactive one, and we are going to have as much fun as we can, right? So it's going to be an amazing session. So the topic we're treating today is the future of works, what the tech job market will look like in 2025 and how you should position. And I will really love to know what you guys think about this before I get started. So just type in the chat, what are those jobs that you think will be in demand in the next 3 to 4, 5 years, or even, further into the future? What are those those career paths that you think will be in demand before? So just type the career path that you feel. Okay, Progress says artificial intelligence. Okay, keep it coming, guys. What are those career paths? Generative AI, data science, and AI. Okay, and then Olushola says robotics. You all are very correct. Okay, Onyekachuku says data analytics. You're very correct. All right, so keep it coming, like I said, guys. Coming. So I'm going to be taking questions by the end. So Gladys, just type anything and that you want to talk about or say. I'll be taking questions towards the end. Okay, awesome. Gladys says project management and data analytics. All right, great. Gibonet says, I am Gideon Etuk, a web developer, career prompt engineering. It's a very hot career path. Awesome. Prompt engineering is a very hot career path. Yes, you're very correct. You're very correct. So thank you very much for that input. I see that we are all very abreast of what the future of work is going to look like. So this session is going to be like a deep dive into other areas and even how to position properly. Why these career paths will be in demand, like why them? Why are the others declining and these ones will be in demand? These are things that this session will help us treat today. So permit me to introduce Amdari. So if this is your first time joining our session at Amdari, just give me a thumbs up. Like this is your first time joining us, give me a thumbs up. You've been here before, no need to react. But this is your first time getting to meet and know about Amdari, just give me a thumbs up. Awesome. So I see a lot of reactions. So I will be introducing Amdari to everyone on this call, as we seem to have quite a number of new people who are just joining us here. So see Amdari as that platform that helps you develop the needed skills and capacity, or pretty much the needed capacity in this case, right, in order to land your first job in tech. So what I mean by this is you typically have gone through trainings, you've gained the skills, now you want to land the job. But recruiters are saying, oh, we need an entry-level professional with 1 to 2 years experience. How do they expect you as an entry-level professional to have that number of that number of years of experience, right? So Amdari is that platform that just felt like, okay, you know what? We can actually make this possible for data professionals, right? We can make this very possible by giving you the needed access to gain the real world experience. We've done this by providing you with a platform that gives you access to real world projects and the other end, which is internship. So typically you gain experience through two very valid and solid ways: by working on projects and by working as an intern. So these two are kind of a bit different, and one positions you better than the other, but they are both very great ways. Emphasis on great. They are both very great ways to gain and build experience and build expertise and develop your, confidence level. But one just gives you like an upper hand and an edge because of how it is structured. Can anyone tell me which one gives you an upper hand? Like, just type it in. Like I said, I want this to be interactive. I want us to converse and communicate as much as we can. So just which one do you think gives you a better edge? But regardless, Amdari gives you both access, and we also help you with a portfolio building tool that helps you build a portfolio website, which I will be showing you in the course of this session as well. So these are ways that Amdari is helping tech professionals at the entry level stage to gain real world experience. So we position you to get a job in the competitive job market, right? So our mission is pretty much, from everything I've said, you can see that we are bridging the gap between theoretical learning and real world experience. So we know that what you've learned in class is not enough. The certificate is also not enough to show your next or your first recruiter that you can do the job or deliver actually on that job. So the best way to show them and proof of expertise is to have a portfolio filled with projects or experience gained via internship. And that equips you with all of this. And we focus on career paths like data science, data analytics, data engineering, business analysis, cybersecurity, project management, HR analytics, and financial analytics. Now you can see that this is one of the reasons why at the start of this session, I wanted to know what career path everyone here is currently on, so that I'll be sure that, okay, do I have my people on this call? And when we go further into this session, you would also realize another aspect, which is the fact that the career paths that Amdari is equipping people in and helping them gain experience in are those career paths that are going to still be relevant and in high demand in the future because of certain, reasons that I will also mention as we proceed with this session. So this is what we do at Amdari. If Amdari is a platform that you resonate with as, oh, okay, this looks like an answered prayer, can you give me a thumbs up? Like, this is a platform that you've most likely been hoping to even, benefit from, or oh, it works for where I am. I mean, I need experience. I need to get that job. I'm trying to build a portfolio. I'm trying to work on projects. I'm trying to gain, an access to internship opportunity. I am looking for someone to revamp and review my CV. I need a mentor, like any of these aspects. Like I said, Amdari gives you all of this. So moving on, we are going to be treating the topic future of work, the expectations and the requirements, and then what to do to have a competitive edge and to stand out. You'd as you proceed, you'd understand the need and the reason why gaining a competitive edge is very important. I'll break that down as we go. Then Amdari work experience internship and our special offer to you. So stay glued to your screen as I take you one step at a time. Now, my name is Omomi Victoria Samson, and I am a business and tech executive. I'm very skilled and versatile when it comes to software engineering, marketing, product management, and in general, tech entrepreneurship. And I have a proven track record in delivering impactful results across various industries that I have worked in, like film tech, marketing, edtech, and anything that has to do with human capital development. And that's why I'm very passionate about what we do at Amdari, because we're using technology to bridge a major gap in the workforce. We're using technology to develop human capital and capacity, and also make people job ready and position them for their first job in tech majorly. So this is me, and I'm currently the CTO and COO at Amdari, and I'll be your facilitator for this session. So it's so nice to be here, and I hope we have fun, and I hope you guys enjoy the session, like I said. So now let's dive straight in. I want us to start with some facts and figures, right? Before I start breaking down my point. It's very important for us to have data to back up whatever claims we're making or whatever we're saying. So here's a report from the Future of Jobs 2023, which was last year. And it covers like an extended period of 5 years and even beyond. But majorly, we try to capture it, bit by bit, so that people can properly tailor their learning, skill sets, acquisition, and everything to position for that period of time, and then, keep upskilling even against the nearest future. So according to the estimates of 803 companies surveyed for the Future of Jobs, right? It is said that by 2027, employers will anticipate 69 million new jobs to be created. And this means there are some jobs that would decline, right? And these jobs fall under the 89 million jobs that will be eliminated. And I would also break down the importance of, being abreast of the latest trends and technology in the real sense now, because the more abreast you are, the more easier it is for you to quickly perceive those career paths that are declining and those ones that are evolving, and to keep those ones that are like future proof, and that you can always, learn, and so that you can just be in demand. So I'll be breaking all of that down, and also how I was able to, find out that there was actually a career path that is currently declining when I wasn't necessarily looking to see if this career path was declining. I was just looking to see what these latest, hottest startups, big companies like the big fives, the big tech companies, and all I was just curious to know, okay, what are those fields they're hiring for? If it's a career path I already have, that would be nice. If it's not, to be nice to, learn a latest skill that people or companies and organizations are currently hiring for. Curiosity just to see what these organizations are hiring for. And then I discovered that, okay, wait, I have not seen this particular career path. Now this is it. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I saw it on LinkedIn, and they were hiring. It was a new company. They were not hiring, sorry. It was a new company, and they had like a list of, it was a news about how they have been able to secure funding, and it kind of blew up on LinkedIn at that time. I think it was around March or April this year. And it was fascinating because they're like building an AI powered car, something like that. The company is in the UK. So I really wish I can remember their name, but I follow them on LinkedIn closely. So this product that they build is majorly for the purpose of helping professionals to, sorry, not professionals in this case. This product they build is for the purpose of, I don't, the future that we are getting into, which is going to be dominated by AI. I mean, AI is constantly evolving. I mean, I had a couple of people here who indicated that, oh, okay, yes, they know that the next job that employers will be hiring for will be, sorry, the jobs that will be in demand is robotics and AI. And I was like, yes, everybody who is saying this is very true, is very correct, because you're not far from the truth, right? So now this company is building this product, and I was just curious. I wanted to know what they were hiring for, because again, it's very important to see, all of this. And when I checked, I saw that everything they were hiring for was under data, under AI, machine learning, and I didn't see product management. To be very honest, I didn't see product management. Again, remember that the reason why I went there was not to check for what they were not hiring for. I went there to see what they were hiring for. I was just curious. And then I didn't see product management. I was very like, okay, you guys are still very, I mean, it's a startup. You're still building your products, right? So why is it that product management is not even there? Are you not building a product and stuff like that? I was very curious. So I proceeded, sorry. So I proceeded to just continue in that line of curiosity, to keep seeing, checking out other companies and what they had as their job openings, hiring, and everything. And to be honest, I was seeing less and less and less product management. I don't want to say I was not seeing, because I was actually not seeing product management. And I got curious and I realized that there are actually some aspects of tech that are declining already. And I'll explain why product management is declining, not because we are not building products, but because now we have people like the project managers, the business analysts, and it's like product owners themselves. So once they've interacted with the day-to-day of what a product manager does, it's easy to pick it up, right? And again, business analysts are there now. So it's making it very difficult for that product management role to be properly seen as needed anymore, because of these new careers and jobs that are created. So that's where you see this fall now. These 69 million jobs that will be created, these are those jobs that are going to be replacing some existing ones, not because those existing ones are not needed, but because there's just an advancement. Things are evolving, the processes are improving, right? And we are moving at a very fast pace. So moving on, the future of, still on the path of the report, right? Before I move on to the practical aspect of this session. So the employment of data analysts and data scientists, big data specialists, AI, machine learning specialists, and cybersecurity professionals is expected to grow on average by 30% by 2027. What this tells you is that if you're not learning the skill yet, or if you don't have the skill yet, you might want to upskill or transition into this career path. But then again, one of the reasons why I asked at the start of this session was to familiarize myself with the type of people we have on the call. Are these people who are already in this career path? Are these people who are already practicing? Are these people who have gained the skill that we're talking about today and everything like that? Because it is very important, like I said, to understand the need to gain the skills that employers will be hiring for. Like, you want to stay employable, you want to have a future-proof skill. Just a minute, please, sorry. You want to have a future-proof skill, you want to be in demand, right? You want to be sought after. Now, it's not enough, by the way, to have these skills that employers are hiring for, right? That's where being sought after comes into the picture. That's where having a competitive edge comes into the picture. That's where standing out and taking total advantage comes into the picture. And all of these points that I'm saying, they're very intentional, and I'll be breaking it down as we proceed, because there is a slide for everything I've said now. Again, don't worry, it's going to be very informative and all of that. So if this career path that I mentioned, again, you guys were totally and absolutely right. Every career path you listed, in fact, this is not all encompassing, because we still have the aspects of cloud engineering, we have prompt engineering, we have AI special, okay, AI is here, right? We have business analysts and project managers. All these career paths are in high demand, right? So that's why it's very important to always be abreast. If you're not abreast, you won't know that maybe, oh, a career path, because I actually got, there was a point that product management was a thing. I took a course in product management. I worked as a product manager for over 2 years, right? Again, being abreast of the latest trends is very important. And I was already sensing that I don't think the opportunities are that much anymore for product managers. So I was already upskilling. Funny enough, I had upskilled before I saw that um it wasn't a report, it was just me doing my normal curiosity check and then discovering that I can't really find product management. So these are ways that you can stay abreast. Sometimes you're looking for something else, but you're discovering new information. So just please just read as much as you can, consume articles related to tech, the job market, especially like if you're in tech and you're probably looking to get a job and you're not familiar with it. I wasn't looking to get a job. I wasn't looking to, I was like actively employed. I mean, I was talking about this here, right? But I just love to know what's going on in tech. Like, I just love to be aware, even if it's not an information that I will be using, but having that knowledge is very important for me. So, again, I was just curious and I discovered that, okay, product management has not been anywhere lately. So, now, so moving on, at this point, right, it's going to be very common when you start seeing organizations training their staff members. And I think some organizations are already doing that, telling you how to use AI tools and softwares, learn this, like giving you resources and pushing you beyond what you currently are doing so that you can expand like your capacity and your skills and the value you bring to the company and to the organization. So it's very important that even beyond how your organization is pushing you, if you're currently employed, you position yourself to keep evolving. Now, I'll dive into the aspect that concerns the majority of the people on this call. So before I move on, if you're currently employed as a tech professional under the career path that you wrote, when I asked, oh, if you're a tech person, are you a data scientist, analyst, indicate. So if you're currently employed as that, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not employed as a tech person, give me a thumbs down. So that means you're entry level in tech. But if you're already employed, give me a thumbs up. Okay, Njoku give me a thumbs down. Eliza give me a thumbs up. Kule, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. Okay, all the thumbs downs I'm seeing, like okay, just 3 people so far gave me thumbs up that they are employed in tech, but everyone else, keep it coming, guys. Thank you. Everyone else is not employed. So these are the perfect category of people that, again, trust me, you're currently employed does not mean you're not gaining anything from this session. But this is just going to be like an information for everyone, but most especially those who are trying to get their first jobs in tech. Now, like I said, just 3 people out of everyone on this call has indicated that they are currently employed in tech. Everyone else is saying no. So if that's the case, are you actively and hoping to get a job in tech soon? Just give me like you cannot wait to land your first job in tech. Give me a thumbs up. Like, oh, I can't wait to get my first job. Just give me a thumb. I want to see how enthusiastic we are about getting our first job in tech. So everybody is excited to get their first job in tech. Everybody wants to get their first job in tech. Amazing. So yeah, I'm speaking to my people. I'm speaking to my people. So let's move on. So what are those tech skills to learn? Now, the good part is you guys have learned it. Because again, at the start of the session, I wanted to get to know you. You guys have learned these skills. It is amazing. If you haven't, I know someone, or I think a few people said, oh, they are looking to get into data analytics. They are taking trainings in data analytics and all of that. That's amazing. You're already on that right path. It's a good one. Now, the career path that that you should learn right now is data analytics, data science, cybersecurity, data engineer. These are career paths that employers are hiring for right now, right? So if you don't have these skills yet, you want to gain this skill, right? If you don't have it yet, you want to gain it already. But again, most of the guys on this call, like almost everyone, I think everyone has gained it. So again, I'm speaking to my people, and as we proceed, you start seeing that aspect that is going to be like perfect information that you're looking for. So we've gained the skill, right? And we know that the skill we've gained and the knowledge we've acquired are related to those ones that employers that will be in demand. It's part of those career paths that are future proof, right? Now, one of the reasons why you should understand why these career paths are future proof is because data is the lifeblood of AI, right? Data is the lifeblood of AI. To be very honest, with without AI, without data, AI is really not going to be able to perform because AI needs data to be able to, provide us with answers and everything that we input when we type in our prompt, regardless of the type of AI you're using, whether it's the text related AI, whether it's the picture based AI, whether it's the video generating AI. It doesn't matter what that AI generates for you. AI needs data to be able to build its knowledge base. AI needs data to be able to build its level of intelligence, right? How will AI get this data if we don't have people who are specialized in providing this data accurately, presenting it accurately, cleaning it to make sure that there is no inaccuracy, right? So now I asked a question and I said, what are those jobs that will be in demand? The first thing that someone typed was AI, 100%. Because AI is the future and AI cannot exist without data, then there would always be demand for data professionals. It doesn't matter the aspect of data you fall under, data science, data analytics, data engineering, as long as AI is needed. And we can see that AI is the future. There is no other way there is no best way or better way to put it. AI is literally the future. So if AI is the future, and yeah, that means data will always be in demand. That means data professionals are future proof. You've gained a future proof skill. So if you're not working as much as possible to be hot in that field, then you need to be doing everything you can. Trust me, because you're already on the right path. So why not give it your all, right? Why not dedicate whatever you can to make sure that you take total advantage? Why not commit as much time to make sure that you're one of the top players in the field? Because the demand would always be there. So, but it's just going to be those who always position themselves to stand out that will get the job. Because you might wonder, oh, okay, if data is that in demand, if data professionals are in that demand, why has it been hard for me to get a job? If you've asked yourself this question at any point at all, please can you give me a thumbs up? Like, when I was trying to gain this skill, they said it's in demand. This was one of the things they sold to me when I was paying for the course. They said, oh, data is the future, data is the new oil, data is the lifeblood of this and that and AI and everything. But you've been struggling to get the job. I see the thumbs ups. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the reason why you might be having a challenge with landing a job, I would also explain, because again, it is beyond just getting the skill. It's about proving that you can deliver. It's about proving that you stand out. Like, it's about being very solid, right? So we'll get to that definitely, and how you can properly position to stand out. So these career paths are in demand and they will continue to be in demand. Cybersecurity is very important because we need our information system to be secure against malicious attempts or, malware and all of that, right? So these are career paths that would always be in demand. Data analysis is also one of those career paths that will always be in demand. These are, the guys that are trying to push off the product managers from the market alongside project managers, of course. Then we have the Scrum project manager, right? And then data engineers and cybersecurity professionals. Okay, I mentioned that. Financial and to be, anything that has to do with financial data and all of that. These are things you'd be concerning yourself with. Now, if these are the career paths that are in demand, what are those skills that you need to be more solid? Now, I mentioned just before I got to this next slide that, oh, you might be wondering and asking yourself, oh, if they say that this career path is this hot and this much in demand, why have I been struggling to get the job? That's because beyond the technical skill you've gained, you're supposed to also solidify everything else with a soft skill. There are aspects of skills that would really make you even more solid than what you can do with your technical skill or your hard skill. Now, there's something that's very popular and common, and that is the fact that your hard skills most likely will get you in the door, like get your leg in the door. But you see that soft skill, that's what will keep you in there. Now, this is what that means. Imagine you were able to impress a recruiter with your dashboard presentation, or how you did your the tools you used. Maybe it's a tool that, oh, they were hoping that whoever they're bringing on board is going to be very proficient in. You happened to ace it, you happen to be very skilled at it. They're impressed, they loved it. Now you get in, and then maybe you're not good at communicating or managing expectations. These are things that can cause small conflicts here and there. Or, oh, they can't depend on you at some point because you delay with delivery, or things like these are soft skills that can make or mar someone's career. So beyond your hard skills, you need to have other soft skills that would make you solid. Now, when you go for an interview, trust me, there is this aspect where they already try to assess whether you have these soft skills. They don't need to employ you before they can start assessing it and trying to figure out if you are a good communicator, if you have that very solid analytical thinking or critical thinking capacity, or you're dependable. They don't need to onboard you or employ you before they know. That's where behavioral question comes into the picture. Now, with that behavioral question, what they would ask you is, maybe a scenario-based type of interview. Again, you can only have a scenario-based interview response if you have worked in a team. Now, you would say, okay, but I am entry level. I have not even, I mean, everybody on this call has not gotten a job except 3 people who indicated that they've gotten a job as a tech professional. And we have over 100 people on this call, right? And everyone else, just 3 people said they had gotten a job, right? So, yeah, I'll get to that below. I'll get to that. But just briefly to just explain, financial analysis is like you're specializing in just financial data, right? While data analysis exposes you to just more than financial data, like customer data, sales data, a whole lot things that you can even get from the database, like how customers are interacting with you. Like, it's broader. So, but financial analytics is like you're specializing. You're not. So I'll get to that. Like I said, so we have over 100 people on the call, and only 3 people said, oh, they've gained that, they've gotten the job in tech. Everyone else said they've not gotten a job in tech. Now, you can only have a scenario-based question when you have worked. So now the 3 guys on this call that said they have gotten a job already in tech will have a scenario-based question. And this is what I mean by that. They've worked in a team. They've interacted with cross-functional team members, right? Right. So because that's the case, they will be able to share stories that shows how they were able to interact when something was being worked on, when a task was given, when they had to deliver something. So please, the 3 people that indicated that they're currently employed, please give me a thumbs up if you've worked in with a cross-functional team and you have stories to tell based on experience and things that have happened. Like, you're on the call. Okay, thank you, Progress. So you can only have that type of story if you have worked in a team. But now you're entry level, nobody's hiring you because they want you to have 1 to 2 years experience, and they expect you to have a scenario-based question. That's what I was saying about the difference between project-based experience and internship-based experience. That's the major difference, right? If you have a project-based experience, you were gaining that experience in isolation. You were working solo, you were working on a self-paced level, right? You were not working with a team. You were not working with people. You were not reporting to anyone. And there is no impact business-wise to the task you worked on. But Amdari even took it a step further by making sure that the project on our platform has business context. But again, you're still working in solo, you're working in isolation, but the internship at Amdari gives you access to more cross-functional team, mentors, internship supervisor, and team lead, team members, right? Team members that you do the same thing as and with, and also people you report to, people who approve your work and review your work. If I'm working on a project and I do something that I did better than yesterday, I'll pat myself on the back. I'll be impressed. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll be happy. But who knows, maybe I could have actually do more than what I have done. But because I don't have more than the knowledge I currently have, and this is just all I'm exposed to, my knowledge and what I'm able to just guide myself to, learn online. Maybe I was able to discover this resource. Maybe I was able to discover Amdari and I start watching projects. Thankfully, Amdari projects are guided. Now you have somebody guiding you, even in the project. But again, the internship takes it a step further, right? Because now you get to interact with people. You get to have mentors, not mentor. You get to have a business that you're working on their challenge and impacting, because the result of that is a metric that you're able to add to your CV. And what this does is it shows the recruiter that you have something significant that you've added to a previous business, right? So projects would not give you that. So these are ways that you stand out. And like I said, scenario-based questions can only be answered properly and accurately when you have worked with people. Imagine me working on a project and they're asking me how was I able to manage conflicts or communication, or I should talk about that one time that I was able to swing something from negative result to positive result, or that I was able to contribute positively to my organization or an organization I worked with or at. I can't have that story if I have not worked with any organization. Now, if I have worked with an organization, even via internship, I would have a story. Now, maybe in the course of sharing my story, there is something that showed them my skills as an analytical thinker. That's a check mark for me on their end. If there is another thing I shared that indicates to them that I am a creative thinker, that's another check mark. Now, this is beginning to set me apart. So I have the data skill, which is the skill for the future, which is the skill that these guys are currently hiring for, right? And most likely my CV was good enough to land me this interview. Now it's time for me to ace and nail that interview. And you cannot escape behavioral question. And it's always a trick question. They just want to get a hint into certain aspects of your personality. And there's something also called personality hire, right? And this is where maybe something about you just excites them, maybe your vibe, right? Because I've been in an organization where the founder will always tell me something when we're about to hire. He'll be like, Omomi, I need, you know what we hire based on? We hire based on vibe. Now, why does he emphasize on vibe? Your CV has already proven that, okay, you've gained the skill, you've impacted certain businesses. I mean, for you to even get an interview with us means you've crossed like certain aspects. We are impressed. We love what you've done, right? So now you're with us at that interview. We might not care, but we don't care about your technical skill again at that point, because we've seen it from your CV. You've indicated it with things that caught our attention, that made us say, okay, come in for the interview, right? The interview is just a chit chat oftentimes, just to get to know you, depending on the role you're applying for. Yes, there is assessment test. Again, all these are done before interview. Assessment test tests your ability and what you can do. Different organizations with different hiring processes. So you need to be very strategic. I'll get to that, right? Now, you take your assessment test. We are impressed. Oh, okay, great. Then we call you in for an interview. That means you've already impressed us with your technical skill. So this interview is not to know what tool you're good at alone. We'll still ask, but that's not the only thing. In fact, at that point, the major focus is on your personality as a person. So all the questions will be around things that will show us your capacity as an analytical thinker, as a critical thinker, creative thinker, you name it, as maybe someone who is reliable, who is loyal, who is dependable. And I'll give you an instance. When you go for an interview, you most likely might be asked a question around your strength and weakness. Your strength would always be something positive. It would end on a positive note. It will give a positive impression about you to the recruiter. Now, even how you tell that story, because something you feel is your strength might not be impressive enough for them. It might not show them the critical or analytical thinking and everything like that. Now, I'll give you an instance of something that's, an interaction I had with an employer. Now, I was the one applying to get a job, not the one hiring people on board. So I was applying for this job as a software engineer, and I was asked a question about my strength. Of course, again, strength would always indicate something positive, but then how you tell the story is important. Then, when I was talking about my strength, I was tying it to a previous job, a previous experience, a previous interaction with fellow, teammates and even boss. Then when I was talking about my weakness, I was talking about it from not just my professional background, but how my personal life kind of impacted that. And they were like, oh, so what's your weakness? Like, what's your weakness? What would you say your weakness is? And I said, oh, it's managing a team and getting them to do the job after they have after it has been delegated. Sorry, I was applying for the role of a product manager. So I'll be leading a team of software engineers, not software engineering. Yeah, I just remembered. So I'll be leading a team. Now imagine me applying for the role of someone who be leading a team and saying my problem is, and trust me, that storytelling was deliberate because I wanted them to pick certain things from my personality and who I am. The story was 100% true, wasn't a lie. It was my weakness at that point in time, which I was already working on. So I told them that when it comes to delegating tasks, I can delegate, I'll delegate. But when you're not doing the job, when you're not getting it done, I would naturally just do it. And this is why. So you're a developer, you're a software engineer. I can also develop a website because I'm also a software engineer, but I just transitioned into product management. Now I'm giving you a task as your team lead, but you're delaying with shipping that feature, or you're delaying with building that landing page, or that sales landing page. And I know I can do it. And I know we gave my boss a deadline. We said we're going to be done on so day, and the deadline is drawing close, and you're delaying for whatever reason. And the people I was working with at that time, like that's my teammates, they would always delay. So I would jump on it and then I'll do it. To me, everybody's happy. My boss got her job delivered. She's happy. Nobody delayed any client's job. Yes, she doesn't need to know who did it. But I know that, okay, my teammates were dragging and I had to also jump on. But I was not supposed to do that because it was affecting my own productivity on my part because I had my task as well, right? So, and I said, then I realized that this was not a good way to lead a team. Now, what this indicates to my recruiters first is that I'm a self-aware person and I call myself to order. I tell myself the truth, to be honest. And one of the things that impacted this on a personal level, so being a first child, you are responsible for getting your siblings to do everything, getting them to do the chores and all. And my mom has this principle that if I assign a task to you and tell you to delegate it to your siblings and they don't get the job done, you're going to be the one to answer because you're supposed to get them to do the job. So because I don't want my mom to come back and shout at me or be upset, so I'll just get it done. Laundry, dishes, sweep. I'll just allow those ones to go and play and then I'll do it because they are delaying. I don't want anybody to shout at me. So everybody's happy. So that's kind of grew with me. And also I was like, oh, so that was that. So I added a backstory. And then I told them how I became self-aware that, oh, this is not how to lead a team. And then I decided to speak to my team. And when I did speak to them, I was like, okay, there's going to be like a penalty. And then whilst speaking about penalty, I realized that, wait, if you have to be fined for defaulting or giving a penalty or told that, oh, this is the case, that is the case, then you're not being a disciplined professional. And I don't think that's the way to work, right? Of course, adopting emotional intelligence while conversing with them so that nobody's emotion is bruised, ego bruised or something like that. So that indicated again to my hiring manager at that time that, okay, not only is she self-aware, but she's also very emotionally intelligent. She's also, it was indicating soft skills that shows that, okay, you can work with a team, you communicate. Again, I understand the importance of calling people and speaking about things that you feel can be done better. So these were ways that, and I could only share that story, to be honest, because I had worked with a team. I wouldn't even be exposed to that type of experience if I didn't work with a team. I wouldn't have, and then it was a weakness, but then they could see that this person is aware, this person is already, and I got the job actually, like I got the job 100%. So these are ways you tell your, scenario-based questions. And for every scenario-based question you tell, you need to start it with a use story shape. Yes, the star approach or the star, the star approach is 100%. accurate and what you should also adopt when telling a story about your past experience, or when asked how you did something while you were working on this project or that task. But you need to understand that when you start your storytelling with just the star approach, then you're ignoring yourself and the role you played and the people you interacted with from the start. And the best way to glue them is for you to already paint that scenario properly. Now, you're starting your story with the star approach and you're saying, so this, start the S in star is situation. So you just start with the situation. But then now I don't really know what role you played, right, in the job and everything like that. Okay, Onye. Okay, sorry, I missed the name, but I'll attend to the question after this. Like I said, every question that is being dropped in the chat box, I won't miss it. I'll definitely read all of it. So you're starting your story with the situation, ignoring the fact that you actually had a role in that company and people you interacted with. So it makes it start off weak a bit, because now you're just starting with, oh, so there was this time that we had to work on a website project. Now, I don't know if you were the UI designer, if you were to ignore the fact that you're applying for maybe a web developer. It's possible you worked and had that experience as a UI UX designer. We have people with transferable skills who apply for another job. We have people who transitioned. So I might be sharing a story. There was a time I was applying for a software engineering role, and I was sharing a story of an experience that I had as a product manager, right? So I could be sharing the story, and maybe on that job I was doing something else. So you need to start it off with what you were doing. So, oh, I was on the team as the software engineer and I was working closely with product managers. Then we had a product designer as well, because there are website processes or development process, knows UI UX and just jumps to what's it called? They just the other aspect of, oh, let's just build it. That's people who use WordPress or just try to figure out how to build the website. So I would start it off as, oh, so there was this time I worked as a software engineer with XYZ company, or maybe I don't even want to mention the company. And I worked closely with product managers, product designers, and the stakeholder. And we had this task to put out a new feature on the website that allows data professionals or tech entry-level professionals to build their portfolio on Amdari website. So what we did first was to understand the need in the market. And of course, the need was what led us to discussing this whole thing. So you're already describing the situation. Then the task moves on to where you guys started mapping out what you guys are working on. The UI designer starts developing after he got the PRD from the product manager, that's the product requirement document. After he got it, he started working on it. I think that's what business analysts call requirement gathering. So product management, we call it product requirement document. So after gathering all of the requirements and who the platform is for, user story and everything like that, the UI UX designer started designing the low fidelity mockup, moved on to high fidelity mockup, and did the wireframing and everything like that. When he was done with wireframing, I jumped on it as the software developer. Maybe you were even front end and you had a back end, you on it. And when I was done, then I mean, you're already talking about the actions that you guys took. Then the results, you guys shipped it. What was the response like? In fact, if the results now has you talking about maybe a little bit of data, you're throwing in data towards the end, that sets you apart as a software engineer, because not only are you good at developing, you even have an idea of what happened. So what this tells them is that you pay attention to other things external to your domain and what you're doing in the company. So it shows that you care about the organization you worked with, right? It shows that, because if I just say, so if I don't say much about the other people that I worked with and what they did, it shows that maybe I wasn't paying attention to what others or the impact we're bringing. Now, it doesn't change the fact that I am good at my job, but if there is another person that comes in and tells the story, indicating, things like, oh, they paid attention to other aspects of the business, that person will get the job, because that person just proved a point that the other person didn't prove. Because, okay, let me ask you, if you were the hiring manager and then someone tells you a story of a task or a time they worked in a team and they did this, and from all indications they just kept talking about what they did, not highlighting what others did per se. And then someone comes in and goes above and beyond and even told you that after they went live with that feature, they had like 30% increase in the number of signups because everybody just wanted to benefit from the what's it called? The portfolio building feature. Everybody wanted to build their portfolio. Who would you see as this person will add more value to this company? Is it the guy that just talked about, so I built it, yeah, the UI UX designers did their thing? You didn't even talk about the low fidelity mockup, high fidelity mockup, wireframing, and what even led to you guys developing the platform in the first place, which is there was a research that was done, there was a feedback that was received, and there was a need in the market that, oh, this, users can benefit more from Amdari platform beyond just working on projects. They're able to build their portfolio on this platform. Like, you were just the developer, but you could say all of this, right? And then there's this other person that just said, oh, so there was this time that our product manager said we needed to build this. So it showed that you were not really, you just did your part. Who would you employ? Is it A, the person that talked about other aspects very well, or B, the person that just talked about him, so like his role, not himself, but his role? Who would you hire if you were the recruiter? I would just like to know. Like, I want to also see for following, and if we understand what a behavioral question can do to an interview you go for, how it can make your chances or mar the chances, and also how it indicates the different soft skills that you have. Awesome. So I see everyone is saying A. Awesome. Okay, Lola is the only one that has responded. You guys are not responding. I hope we're following and paying attention. Are you going with A or B? Okay, thank you, Olufunmilayo. Are you going with A or B? Is it person A or person B that stands the chance? Just type A in the chat box for me. All right, thank you. A. Everybody's going with A. You can already see how Mr. A is setting himself apart, right? He's already indicating other aspects that shows that you can rely on this person to know more than what you've hired them for. You can rely on this person to even, contribute. This is what the scenario-based question does. And from here, a vibe is picked. From here, your personality is perceived. They can tell if you care or not from how you answer it. Because from what I said now, naturally, I can tell that you guys can already tell the kind of person that A is like, oh, okay, right? So these are ways that you can impress your recruiter. These are ways that you stand out. So now your first question, you might now have this question that, okay, I have some of these skills. Why has it been so difficult to land the job, right? So I have, picked at different intervals things that I'll be discussing here. But this is just still going to like add more flesh to everything. So, like I said, employers or recruiters would always say that they need you to have two, although this is exaggerated. This is exaggerated, but they will still expect you to have 1 to 2 years experience when you're just starting out, when you either just got out of boot camp or training, So how do they expect you to have even 1 year experience when you just need the job, right? So it's very important to understand that you can help yourself with getting the experience. So learn and train on the job. What this means is gain the skill and train on the job, internship. Now, I mentioned earlier that a very valid way to gain experience is to working on projects and interning, but one just gives you an edge than the other. And I have briefly explained why one gives you an edge. And that's because with internship, you can have impacts on your CV. You can have metrics on your CV. You can have proof that a real business has benefited from your skill set on your CV. This gets you an interview. And in your interview, you can pass the perception of, I have done the job. I have the story to share. I have impacted the business like this. This is my personality. These are the soft skills I have. this is how I can add value to your company, because that's where they understand value. Now, I made a reference to two people, A and B, the one that can say more about other people's field, not like you asked him, not like you cared, but because he was just able to say that, that already tells you something, right? That already tells. So what that is telling you is that this person will bring more value. This person is bringing more. So this person has set himself apart from every other person that applied. So you would naturally want to tilt your yes towards that person. Not that the other person did not impress you now, but this other person outperformed or outdid everybody else. So how do you make sure that you're that person that outperforms everyone? It's here. Make sure you learn. And I know everyone on this call has learned. Now, gain the skill by training on the job. You can only train on the job when you intern, because when you already have a job and you're still learning, like after you've gained your experience and you're still learning, that's a lifelong learning approach, which is solid. That's upskilling, which is also solid. That's unlearning and relearning, which is like it's a must have for you, right? So these are ways that you can set yourself apart, right? Now, again, like I said, they are the key strategies that helps you to position better. Now, the next one is to focus on outcomes and metrics. I mentioned how you can get metrics and outcomes on your CV. You can only have metrics when you've impacted a business. Internship will give you that. An example of that type of internship is the Career Experience Internship Program at Amdari. Now, how do you have outcome stories? It's also when you've worked in a team. These outcome stories can also be shared during your interview sessions, like when you land that interview. How do you have outcome stories when you have worked in a team with people, you interacted with your team lead, your supervisor, a stakeholder, right? And you can only internship can give you that, right? Because you're entry level and nobody's going to hire if you don't have 2 years experience. So the best way to have this story is internship, right? You can't have this story with projects. Projects would help you build competence and also confidence, but some things that can help you, that can make you land the job, can only just be gotten via internship, to be very honest. So the next one is to master the art of storytelling in applications. Now, I have talked briefly about this, and that is using the U story shape and STAR approach to answer scenario-based questions in interviews. Interviews, just like their names, interviews. Questions, you answer. Questions, you answer. So how do you master the art of storytelling? You need to understand U story shape very well and the STAR approach very well. Know how to talk about your weakness in order to make it still showcase some very nice traits about you. The weakness is still the weakness, it's still existing, but the fact that you were able to show some other aspects while telling the story or while sharing the story indicates very solidly that, okay, yeah, you have some nice traits that can be of great benefits to this organization. In my case, that weakness story I shared just indicates that this person does not love to get the work done late. She does not like to go back on her words when she says we're delivering at this time. She works to make sure that that is done. It's showing that you can depend on this person, you can rely on this person, and this person just loves to get the job done, right? But the weakness is still there. But you could so it's like everything else outweighs the weakness. And the fact that the person is also now self-aware shows you that they are consistently and constantly working on themselves, right? So be very good at storytelling and then leverage networking and strong personal branding. Now, one very fun fact is the fact that over 60% of people who get jobs today, they get it through networking. And to be very honest, I think the only time I've had to apply was twice, like in the history of my trying to get a job in tech and everything like that. Every other, even my internship, it was an unpaid internship. I was entry level also. I had just taken the course online and everything like that, and I knew that I needed to work in a real, like, I was learning on my own, doing all the learnings. I gained the skill, but you would get stuck at some point, to be honest, if you're learning on your own, because it feels like you've accessed everything you can have access to, but you've not learned everything. You don't even know everything. So you need to change your mode of learning. Changing your mode of learning means learning while doing. And how can you learn while doing? Companies might not be willing to hire you because you're still learning. So the only way you can learn while doing is to apply for internship. So I applied for internship and I reached out to a friend of mine that was very strong in the tech space. And I told him, I know you know a lot of, tech people, and or I don't know if you know where I can intern. And then he recommended me. He referred me to someone and told the person that I'll be coming. And then I went. Despite the recommendation, despite the recommendation, they needed to see a proof of what I had done. That's only where my project experience was like valuable and valid. Like, so my projects were like my prior internship prerequisites. Do you get, like, so I needed to even show something to get an internship. It was not a paid internship at all. I interned for 6 months. I didn't get paid a dime, but I still needed to impress them and show them that I have done it and I can do it. Right. And that was when, so they saw what I'd done and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I think, yeah, you're good, you're solid and all that. And that was when, so the recommendation just made it fast, gave me access to, I didn't have to submit my CV or read or anything. No, I just straight to interview, but they needed to see something during that interview. And then I showed them, they asked me questions. Again, behavioral based questions are very important. They asked me questions, I answered them. They said they liked me. I don't know if you've experienced an interview where they'll be like, oh, we like you. They will typically always use that line. Oh, we like you. So the interview, that was my first time interviewing. I interviewed for an internship. Then every other job I've gotten after that was like recommendation and all of that. Then the other times I also kind of got to interview, and I interviewed twice, 3 times, and I got the job twice. One time I didn't get the job, and this is why. And it's a mistake, I feel. I don't think it's a mistake, but things that we don't pay attention to. So I got to the final stage of the interview. I had met with the CEO twice. Typically, it was supposed to be once, and it was twice because they were having difficulty picking between me and the other person. And this company I'm talking about is like one of the big companies in Nigeria right now, but I don't want to mention the name. So they had picked, so they wanted to be sure who to pick between me and the other guy. And they said they had one last question. And he told me, he said, we have actually fallen in love with you and we really want you to work with us. We want you on board, but we need to decide because two of you are impressive and we can only take one person because, of course, it's just one role. So we want to know, have you worked on a fintech website, web app? Like, have you built a fintech product before? And I had not built it. And trust me, they had told me something prior to this, which could have made me say, oh, I have built it. I mean, you can just, like, you could just lie and just get something from some of your colleagues, because I have a lot of developer friends that I could just like, oh, can you share your project with me? I'm applying for this job. I don't have this experience. Like, I've not built, but can I do the job? Can I build it? Yes, I can. So I could have said, oh, but I told them no, that I had not built it. And they said, oh, I know that what that means, right? I said, yes, that they now said, oh, the other person has the, fintech experience, that if I had it, they would have still gone ahead with me, because on other aspects, they kind of preferred, so that would typically mean personality test, the personality test that we did, trust me. So what am I trying to say here? Sometimes diverse industry experience can help you. Now, if I had worked on a fintech, now I had a ed tech product that I built, e-commerce, that was in my portfolio for real businesses. Okay, I already mentioned education. I had for different other industries, right? But I didn't have for fintech. And because of that, they went ahead with someone else. They didn't go ahead with me. Not because I could not do the job, not because I didn't impress them. But imagine, I was like, let me have as many industry related projects as possible, and also weird and different things that can make people just go with someone else and not go with you. So Amdari platform, for example, has this repository of projects, real world projects. that allows you to gain experience across diverse industries, from healthcare to FMCG to agric to logistics and supply chain, e-commerce, like over 20 industries that you can build projects in. Now, I'll get to that as well. So it's very important to understand the place of having diverse industry knowledge. I was in a session with someone yesterday, a clarity call session, and she was asking me, or he was asking me, if on his CV he can have something like that. Oh, he hears a lot that, oh, you need to niche your CV to a specific industry related to the industry you're applying for. And I said, yes, you need to niche your CV, but not to a specific industry, but role. So if you're a data scientist and you've worked in an edtech company, healthcare, maybe logistics and supply chain, you want to list all those experiences because you worked as a data scientist and you're applying for the role of a data scientist. So don't say, oh, because this new company you're applying to is only in healthcare, so you just want to put healthcare. What if you've only worked in one healthcare company in the past, right? Do you want to ignore the fact that you've gained more experience as a data scientist in other industries? Like, I just made reference to the fact that, okay, I was dropped off an interview because I didn't have a fintech experience, right? So as long as it's the same role, you want to list all of your experiences under that role, regardless of industry. It just shows how diverse you have been, right? But if it's, oh, you're applying for a data analytics analyst role, and you've worked as a customer success representative before in an organization, then in another organization you worked as a teacher or lecturer, and then in another organization you worked as a what's the other career path I can mention? They are not related to data analytics. You need what is tailored just to your data analytics role, right? And experience. So if you've not gained the experience, what then can you have on your CV? Your projects. But again, projects alone does not guarantee the job. That's why I keep saying, take total advantage. Take total advantage. Internships, experience on the job, metrics on your CV, impact on the business on your CV, and land you the interview. Landing the interview, impressing them with your scenario-based questions, response, your soft skill is perceived. So they won't ask you also, are you a critical thinker? Also, would you describe yourself as a creative thinker? Or would you say, no, they won't ask you that. What they will ask you and try to get to know about you will now indicate if you are all of this or none of this, right? So for CVs, I would naturally advise you to have two, your master resume or CV, and then your tailored resume or CV. Please be strategic about your hiring, your application process. Have two CVs, your master CV and then your tailored CV. Now, your master CV will always have every experience you've had, regardless of the role you played, regardless of the industry, regardless of all of that, regardless of whether it's internship, project, or real work experience. Now, your tailored CV will only be tailored to that job you're applying for every time, every time. So if today you're applying for a data analytics, a data analyst role, everything regarding that CV should be tailored towards your data analytics experience. I have two of this type of CVs, my master CV. And that's because when it comes to applying for a job, it is faster to just visit my master CV, pick what I need to pick from it, impute it in my tailored CV and just send it out, like, because it just has everything every time and I can just pick it. Not that, oh, today I'll tailor it like this, then delete it tomorrow and like re-edit and it's refreshed. Do I have to do that every time? No, right? So I have a master one that has my updated details and I can always just pick from there and edit my tailored CV like that, like that, like that, and I keep applying. So you need to have a tailored CV and the other one, which is your master CV, right? So moving on, the top skills that you need to have to gain an edge in the future of jobs. Technical skills. I have talked about this. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, data analysis and visualization, cloud computing, blockchain and cryptocurrency, cybersecurity, software engineering, project management, tech sales and digital marketing, UI UX, DevOps and agile methodologies. This is for the project managers, business analysts as well. These are career paths that are for the future, right? Not like we don't have more, but like these are the major. So if you have a skill under any of these, trust me, you have a future proof skill set, right? You have a future proof skill set and you have positioned yourself to be employable in the future of work. And yeah, you'd always be sought after. But beyond the skill that you have gained, please take note of everything else that has been shared in my previous slides and conversation regarding the importance and the need for you to ace your interview, how you can ace your interview, how you can land the interview in the first place before you even start acing it, which is your CV, having proof of experience, having proof of impact, having proof of, metrics and growth and competence and all of this. So these are ways that you can land the interview. So the skill set is not enough. Then I talked about the soft skills that you must have, not need to have, but must have. Analytical thinking, creative thinking, resilience and flexibility, agility, motivation and self-awareness. Okay, I mentioned how I demonstrated self-awareness, curiosity and lifelong learning. I mentioned the aspect of, curiosity that I've had as well. Technological literacy. Now, technological literacy spans beyond your skill and your field. That was why when I was sharing the story earlier, I told you about, I was breaking it down. Also, the UI UX designers did the mock-up and everything like that. And then these other guys did this, and then these other guys did that. It shows my depth, not just as it concerns my, my involvement with the company I work with, as per, I'm very concerned and involved with every of the processes. It shows that I have general technical knowledge, right? So you want to show them that you're very vast in tech and you're very literate in tech, right? Then the other aspect is dependability and attention to detail. This is very key, especially if you're in data. Attention to detail, very important. Now, this happened in one of the stand-ups that our interns were having in November. So, because we have interns at Amdari. So, what happened during that session? There was a data set that had a wrong timestamp, and just one person on the team of those working on the project noticed it, and then she brought it to the attention of their team lead during their stand-up. I happened to join the stand-up, just to see how they're doing and everything like that. And she was like, I think the timestamp is wrong. Would you check or something like that? And then the team lead saw it and she was like, you're very correct. That's attention to detail. Now, beyond the fact that the team lead gave this person the accolade of noticing it, because even the team lead did not realize it. Beyond the fact that I did that, this person has not gained experience in tech. If this person goes for a job interview and there is a question that is asked, trust me, this person would have the story to share. And this shows the fact that this person has done it twice. To be very honest, this person has done it twice. One was on Slack, because we have a Slack channel for our interns where they communicate about their task, what they're doing, and just talk as a team, how you typically do with your team members in your company. Just like, in Amdari, we also have our team channel where we talk about, day-to-day tasks, not just talking about, this is what I'll be doing, but just interacting about tasks. Please, can you do this? Can you do that? Can we work on this? Can we jump on this call? Things like this happen in our internship, right? And this person noticed it twice, and you can imagine that this person already has a story to tell that would show how this person pays attention to detail. This person does not need to spell it out that, there was a time I paid attention to detail. No, this person will not do that. This person will simply be talking about when they had a task and we were working on this project, and then she was wondering why her data or her results was not exactly as accurate as she thought it should be, or she anticipated it. Then she realized that, there is something wrong with the timestamp, right? And then she took it up to her team lead, and then the team lead. This shows that she had people she was reporting to. This shows the impact she has had, right? And this shows the fact that she pays attention. Again, she can't have this story if she was working on project alone, because it's just be there's nobody to converse with or anything like that. So yeah, these are ways that you can develop. So skill sets like this, and then empathy and active listening. Communication is also it. Leadership and influence. It's a soft skill. I talked about my own experience leading a team, right? And discovering my weakness as a team lead and working on improving that. Then quality control as well. Now, you need to understand the expectations of employers. What are employers looking out for, right? They need to look out for certain things, and they can only perceive these certain things when they have their interview with you, right? So during interviews, they're looking for positive attitude to work. They're looking for team spirit. They're looking for integrity, communication. In the story I shared earlier about my experience, I talked about how I called my team and we spoke. That shows communication, right? Positive attitude as well, because I didn't want to bruise anybody's ego. I wanted us to work together as a team. Just one story can show your recruiter all this about you. If not all, almost all. Maybe 80% of this. Just one story can indicate this about you, right? But how do you have a story that shows your positive attitude to work if you've not worked with any organization, right? How do you share a story that shows that you're a team player if you've never worked in a team or with people, right? How do you have a story that shows integrity when you've never interacted with your boss? Do you get, like, you've never interacted with a team lead or never reported to anyone, stakeholder? There's no way you can have that story. How do you have communication story to tell? Or rather, how do you show them this aspect of you when you've never worked? The same thing with adaptability, desire for continued learning, professionalism, dependability. My story earlier also showed dependability, the fact that they could depend on this person because she would just get the work done, right? And then enthusiasm, relevant experience. Relevant experience is only possible with experience. It gives experience, to be honest. It's the easiest and fastest way. Then we have self-confidence. You would be confident in yourself, how you speak and how you talk about what you've done when it's not a lie, when you've lived that reality, when you're sharing the story. You'll not be scared of being thrown off balance with a next story. Remember that you cooked up this story. You don't have a backstory to it. So you cooked it up, you're sharing it. What if they ask another thing and you couldn't read their mind prior to this time? So there was no way you could have prepared another answer for that, right? And then taking initiative is a very important skill to have. Now, in my story, right, you could tell that my leadership flaw was not detected by anybody, and I wasn't called to order by anyone. I just realized it myself, and which is self-awareness. And then I decided to speak to my team to see how we can better deliver without me having to go the route of doing the job. So I took initiative. I didn't have to like wait until my boss notices and then she's like, why didn't you speak to them? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And all that. Just one story has shown all of this. So how do you put your, like, you need to master, like, you just need to master how to tell your stories very well. These are things that will also help you learn and develop with Amdari internship, right? So in the course of your internship, we're following you gradually, and we're helping you build capacity in order to know how to sell yourself and know how to tell your story when you find yourself in an interview room with a hiring manager and a founder. So please, if you're following and you're finding this very exciting and insightful, can you give me a thumbs up? All right, thank you. I just love to see the thumbs up. If you're finding this, thank you, Temitope. Thank you, Awe. Thank you, everybody. All right, moving on. So, how do you optimize your CV for technical roles? First, I mentioned already, you need to tailor your resume to the job description, right? Now, you need to take a look at the job requirements when you're applying for a job. Please just always, it doesn't matter if it's the same role. Every time the requirements for a data analyst for this organization will not be the same as the requirements for the other organization. So don't just say, oh, hiring for data analyst. Oh, okay. 1 to 2 years experience. Oh, I have it. And then you just go ahead and then you just apply. You need to look at their requirements and the job description, and then go and tailor your CV to match it. Highlight all of the relevant programming languages that they have there, or even if it's tools or anything like that, whether it's Python, whether it's Excel, anything, just make sure. And if there is any tool there that is listed and you don't have the skill for, remember, most likely you have for others, but there is one tool there, maybe you've never used Looker Studio, and they say, oh, they need someone proficient in Looker Studio. Please take a crash course and learn Looker Studio. Prepare, prepare, prepare. What that means is the minute you apply for that job and you see that they indicated that they needed someone with that skill, don't get discouraged. Still apply. Tailor your CV to their requirements. Highlight every relevant thing that they requested for. But make sure that the minute you're done submitting, you go back and start preparing for the interview, right? Don't start preparing for interview when you get a callback. Most times the callback would say, would schedule the interview for like a few days. So it depends on how fast they want to onboard someone. So if they want to onboard someone like as fast as possible, your interview can be like in 3 days time, 2 days time. Some would say, are you available for an interview tomorrow? Can we call you tomorrow? Can we schedule? Right? So what if you've not prepared? So don't already assume that you will not get the job. Please prepare ahead of that job, ahead of that interview. Now, once you're well prepared for that interview, how do you prepare before I get there? You prepare by taking a crash course in that tool that you didn't have the skills or capacity in, or you've never worked with or used, or maybe it's rusty. It's been a while, you did anything in it. Just brush up your skill sets. Go do something again that would help you, develop that capacity again and clean up that rusty skills, right? Then the next thing you should do is to make sure that you start preparing for scenario-based or behavioral questions. Make sure you do mock interview with friends or colleagues or family members that you know would give you good feedback, right? People that will tell you the truth, people that will give you honest feedback. And make sure that whoever is doing this mock interview with you is someone either on your level or above, not somebody that will be blown away by everything you're saying. Because what if you can do better? I would still keep saying this. Not like what you're saying is not good. What if you can do better? The only person that can highlight the fact that you can do better is someone who is either on the same level as you or better. Prioritize getting someone that is higher so that when they give you their feedback, you're able to work on it. And that's the place of a mentor and a supervisor or a team lead and stuff like that. And Dari gives you all this because we have interview prep sessions, CV revamp and review. These are periods that you get to like prepare very well and know the things that you should know, right? So you also need to show quantifiable results. I mentioned this like a couple of times in my previous slides while I was explaining some parts. It is very important for your CV to show impact. You can see right here. Just a minute, please. I want to highlight, where is it? That part that says employers want to see impact. Right, this is it. See, this is not just, honestly, this is not just my word. Sorry, my hand is not straight. This is not just my word. This is just like industry standard. Employers want to see impact. Did you automate a process that saved your team hours each week? Did you improve systems performance? Did you just put some, did you increase sales budget or reduce it? Please reduce sales budget. Did you increase revenue? Please increase revenue. If you have things like this, metrics like this on your CV, they are ways that show your recruiters or hiring manager that you have so much to bring on the table, rather. How do you have quantifiable results? Internship, that's how you can have it. Then use action-oriented language like I developed, I engineered, I led, I did this, and then keep it clean and concise, right? And the reason why you need to keep it clean is because of the ATS system that is being used now. And I would also get to that because it's becoming a thing and it would always be a thing. Companies and organizations would always, because we have a lot of people who are applying for jobs and roles right now. And how many people can these companies really like review their CV? I'm sure you've applied for jobs on LinkedIn before, and one thing you naturally see is the number of people who have applied as at when you're seeing it. Sometimes you're seeing like 1,000 plus, 400, 300, like a lot of people, right, have already applied. So you might wonder, is it just one person that will sit down like this and review all this? To be honest, no. And this is why. If one person should sit down and review all this, there are two things that will happen. Either the person just goes with the first 100 or first 50. So again, most times would always advise, do not apply for jobs or to jobs that already have a lot of entries or applications. And do not apply to jobs that don't fall under. Oh, can you see my screen, Shubomi? Can anyone see my screen? Can you give me a thumbs up? If you can see my screen, can you? Okay, I think it's your network, Shubomi. You might want to leave and join back. I think it's your network. All right. So as I was saying, right? Thank you. So as I was saying, you want to have, thank you, Tomiwa. So you want to have things on your CV that indicates and shows results and everything like this, right? And while I was speaking about the fact that when applying for jobs, please, you also, especially at this entry level stage, right? You want to apply to jobs under maybe startups, right? These big tech companies are those ones that will expect entry level to have 3 to 5 years experience. Don't mind me. They typically go for mid level and senior level, right? So, but even the startups still need proof because remember, they are just starting out. So they need proof that you've done something, you've worked as this and all of that, right? Now, while you are at it, understand that there are some jobs you need to understand hiring process, right? So don't just assume that, oh, I don't think they would use ATS. Oh, I don't think, what if a lot of people applied for the job, right? So if they're using this application tracking system to check for people who are applying, then that means a computer is doing that job. Now, if your CV is not in the right format, maybe you have maybe you have 2 columns, you might mess up your chances. So everything should be in one column using this format that you see on my screen, right? And this is just a bit. I just did like a brief screenshot of this CV that I created just for the purpose of this session so that I can see the right format. We have the full one, which we share with our intern because it's part of the resources that we give them access to. So this is the accurate format for writing a CV. Having different, in fact, executive summary is not necessary or that needed. And this is why you're still going to write a cover letter, right? But there are some opinions when it comes to applying for jobs that are still subjective. Now, another recruiter will tell you, oh, CVs must have executive summary. Another one will tell you, oh no, it's not necessary. It doesn't need to have your professional summary or anything like that. Just go straight to the point and all. That is why you need to understand the company that you're applying into. You need to understand their hiring process. You just need to do your due diligence, right? But as long as you start out with using the industry standard, which is what you see on my screen, your name, even with an ATS system, or ATS rather, scanning your CV, this is clear. Your location, your email, number, LinkedIn. You need to always include your LinkedIn profile. Like it's the new norm, it's the new standard. You need to include it. Then a link to your portfolio. If it's GitHub or Amdari, and I'll show you what Amdari portfolio website looks like. It's a proper standard website that you have access to for free for life, as long as you enroll in our internship. It's one of the things we give access to, because if you naturally go to the platform right now, what you see there is that it's a prepaid package. But if you enroll in our internship, it's something you have access to for free for life. You're able to house your projects and everything like that in it. Like it's a proper website. I'll show you what it looks like. So just sit back and relax. So you need to avoid common mistakes like terrible formatting or including irrelevant details. And then you also need to make sure that your CV is in a PDF format, because if it's in a Word document, you don't know the software that I'll be opening it with. If I open it with another software that messes up your CV, I might not have the patience to keep reading, or the ATS system might just see it as, oh, okay, inaccurate. Again, that was why I was saying make sure it's in a PDF format. Just write format and you'd be fine. And this is the industry standard format for your CV. Now, behavioral interview questions by competence. Now, it can fall under different aspects, like I have explained and hinted: adaptability, analytical thinking, attention to detail, communication. And these are examples of questions that can typically come under this category. So it's not like they will ask you, oh, like I said earlier, oh, do you pay attention to details? Are you a good communicator? They won't ask you that. They'll just ask you something like this: how did you explain? How do you go about explaining a complex technical problem to a person who does not understand technical jargon? Stuff like that. But they would be asking you in past tense, by the way, because they want to know how you've done that in the past, right? So these are ways. So we have like a list of resources that contains every possible question under adaptability, every possible question under analytical thinking, every possible question you can come across under attention to detail. Like I said, when you are going for an interview, you need to prepare as much as you can. These resources is also available to our interns. Now, to prepare thoroughly for your technical interview, you need to research the company's technology stack, right? Like I mentioned, on the CV, on the job requirements, they would have written, oh, we need someone that can use this tool, use that tool. Please be sure that you familiarize yourself with the listed tools, right? You can check out someone who has worked in the role you're currently applying to in their organization. There is a part, I think, for past employees or something, or even the current person. Sometimes they are just adding more people to the team, right? So they can have a software engineer and still want to add more, right? I will want to know what tools this person is using. I'll look him up. I'll check him out on LinkedIn. He would most likely have it there. There are skills I don't have the capacity to, and they still added it to their requirements. That means it's not like, oh, they need me to bring an extra skill set alone, but then I still need to know the other ones that they have. Again, it's good value to add to the table, right? Then you need to be ready to explain your problem solving approach. I explained this through the behavioral aspects. They want to understand how you think through complex technical challenges, right? So again, interview is just interview. It gives them a window into who you are, how you think, how you reason. If you're a critical thinker, creative thinker, problem solver, a communicator, a team player, even when they are asking you technical questions, they are still perceiving your behavior, your personality, and who you are. Now, you need to prepare for the behavioral questions, which I showed us details about, and how we have like a list of possible questions under each behavior, and how you can craft your story when trying to tell a scenario-based story, because this is how they also get to know you. Now, crafting your story means you need to master the art of storytelling very well, such that you're not just telling a story for telling sake, but you're telling a story so that they perceive you, your kind of person, like who you are and what you can bring to the table. Because remember, at the end of the day, interviews are just a way for that organization to know if you align with them value-wise, right? And then you need to also ask questions during the interview. They'll typically ask you, oh, do you have a question for us? Please ask. It's not a must, but just make sure you have something to ask them. Do you know what this tells them? This tells them that you've researched them, and the quality of the question you ask them will tell them more about you as well, right? So there are sometimes that you can intelligently craft a question and it will tell them, oh, okay. There are some questions that people would ask you that maybe you've not even thought about the answer before, but you'd be like, that's actually a good one. I might not have the answer for you, but it's a good one, and we'll look into it. It's something that happens. So that means you have questions that kind of a thought-provoking, a thought-provoking question that gets them to like, oh, okay, we can actually, so things like that. So these are ways that you can position. So what's the best way to land an interview and ace it, first, you need to build a portfolio. You can build a portfolio in two ways: working on projects and working as an intern, right? I mentioned that earlier. Working on projects, working as an intern. Amdari gives you both. Now, if you work on projects at Amdari, you have access to guided projects of over 250 projects across data science, data analytics, data engineering, and you have access to a CV revamp and review, mentorship, and all of that. If you jump on internship at Amdari, you have access to all these projects for free, portfolio building websites, which I'm going to show you at the end of this. You'd see what my portfolio on Amdari looks like. Portfolio building website that you can copy the link and put on your LinkedIn as my website. Carries everything about you, the profession, like everything about you, right? And you're also able to get mentored by different industry leading experts, right? That we carefully and intentionally selected. The other thing you need to do in order to position right and land the job, please network intentionally, right? Because the easy way to get in, to be honest, is by recommendation. I told you how almost all the jobs I've gotten are based on recommendation, and even internship was based on recommendation. I was able to scale past the CV aspect with that. But then my personality and how I answered the behavioral question and technical questions helped me to ace the interview. So what networking does for you when you get a recommendation is that it doesn't say, oh, you automatically get the job. No, it just says you get to not submit your CV, but you just get to get into the interview straight. In that interview, you're asked technical questions and behavioral questions. So please bear that in mind. Then you need to build your soft skill, because this is how you get to ace your behavioral questions. Then you need to prepare for interview, because this is also how you get to land the job after you ace it, right? So you need to use the STAR approach. You need to use the U story approach. You need to use the you need to master storytelling. Please, again, master the art of storytelling, because when you master it, every little detail I have shared today, you won't miss it. You'd know how to say the story and tell the story such that without you saying I am a self-aware person, they pick it. Without you saying I am a dependable person, they pick it. Without you saying I am a valuable asset to your company, they pick it, right? So you need to know how to tell that story. Now, here's a trick to landing the interview and nailing the interview. If you're just trying to land the interview, right, you need to dedicate 80% of your time to searching for job and preparing 20%. Like, dedicate 20% of your time to preparing, right? Now, when you have landed, like when you have applied, you now need to start dedicating 80% of your time to preparing. Don't wait until you get a call back before you prepare for an interview, because trust me, an opportunity can come at any time. If the opportunity comes now and you don't ace it, how do you want to land the job? Now, it's not the fault of your skills. It's because you didn't prepare for the interview. You've proven that you have the skills, but I am not convinced that I can hire you. Do you get, like, yeah, I see everything you said you've done, but I'm not convinced that you can do it. Or I don't think we are aligning. The energy I want is an energy from someone who I can say, oh, I think this person is dependable. I think this person takes initiative. I need to have that perception about you. So dedicate 80% of your time after you have applied consistently to now preparing for the interview, right? So now the tech job market in 2025, what should you expect? First, increased demand for specialized skills. I mentioned that all the career paths in data, AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, project management, business analysis, software engineering, and the likes are going to increase by 30%. The demand will keep increasing. These are the specialized skill sets and career paths. And thankfully, everyone on this call has that skill. Now, the gig economy and freelance opportunities will grow. What that means is if you have a skill set that is flexible, you will be able to thrive in the future of work. What do I mean by this? If I'm a digital marketer, I can freelance for a company. If I am a data analyst, I can consult for a company. It's still kind of freelancing, right? If I'm a product manager, I can freelance on a contract base, and oh, we are building this product, just like you to work on it for like 3 months, 6 months, depending on how complex and big the project is. These are skill sets that allows you to be flexible. So do you have the skill sets? Yes, yes. If yes, great. If no, you might want to take a look at some of these skills that can help you land gigs, because these gigs would always, help you to save more and earn more. Let me just say earn more, right? It helps you to earn more. So the gig economy is going to grow more next year. So it's not too late to start equipping yourself. Then AI powered recruitment process will evolve better. It's already existing with ATS, but it's still going to be consistent because more companies will start adopting it. And when they start adopting it, it means AI will be what scans our CVs before any recruiter sits. He scans it and shortlists it. It's the shortlisted ones that probably the recruiter will sit down to look through. So maybe out of the 1,000, please, I just need top 10 that I can look through, or I need top 100. Again, depends on how much time they have. Or, oh, I need top 20. I check the top 20. I personally shortlist it to 10 or 5, and I interview 5 people. So how do you make sure that you're not cut off from the application process by an AI-powered recruitment software because of how you formatted your CV? You need to have the right format of CV, right? So when you focus on these specialized skills and embrace a lifelong learning mindset and leverage global opportunities, you can position yourself at the forefront of this, dynamic tech landscape. What this means is, please, it doesn't matter if you gain the skill. You need to keep learning. It's not enough to say, oh, I have the skill, I've done this. Lifelong learning would always make you sought after. It would always make you valuable because you're constantly abreast of the latest trends and you're constantly discovering new knowledge. So you keep growing. So how do you position? Here is how you can position right in the job market. Please, we'll be sharing this sessions, what's it called? We'll be sharing this session materials. So if you'd like to receive it, please fill the attendance sheets and my colleague would share this with you tomorrow. How do you position yourself for that opportunity in the job market? You need to upskill continuously. And lifelong learning is that thing that would help you to keep developing new skills every time, right? Then you need to build a strong professional network. I mentioned how 60% of hiring has been as a result of recommendation. And I tell you for a fact, most of the people we have on board at Amdari came in through recommendation. I don't think anyone here who is familiar with Amdari before would even say they've seen any of our flyers like, oh, we are hiring for a data analyst or we're hiring for a data. That's because the process of hiring is by looking within the network and accessing professionals. There is someone at Amdari right now who was onboarded just by participating in some of our activities at Amdari. We saw how this person was skilled and this person was onboarded and hired for a full-time role. These are some of the benefits that you get even when you interact with Amdari. Sometimes there might be a need, and because of how you demonstrated your capacity and skill, you could come to mind and then we're like, oh, you know what, let's bring this person on board. Because we have access to a lot of professionals, we don't need to put out a flyer to employ people, right? So yeah, so you need to also develop transferable soft skills. Soft skills that I've been mentioning right from the start of the session are like adaptability skills, communication, how dependable you are, analytical thinking, critical thinking, or even creative thinking, and all that. Then embrace flexibility. You need to be open to making adjustments at work. A question can be asked sometimes in your interview, like, Are you open to working extra hours on days that this is warranted? Maybe something happens. And then your answer is like, as long as there will be payment for extra hours, I don't mind. That's A answers it like that. And then B says, as long as it helps us to, finish up a particular task or get a certain work done, I don't mind. Please, from this response, who do you think the organization will pick? A or B? A says, as long as there's payment for extra hours, I don't mind. Like, I am open to it. Then B says, as long as it helps us get the job done, I don't mind. Please, who would you go with? I'd love to get your reaction in the chat. B. Now, thank you, Princess. Guys, I'd still love to see your reaction. So, B will be picked not because the organization even has it in mind not to pay you, but because B has demonstrated flexibility as long as the job is done. And the organization might have a system or process in place that compensates you for extra hours or for any extra effort or for any additional thing that you bring that's outside of the scope of your work. It might not be that they even compensate you that day, but maybe at the end of the month, or there is like a form of, but the organization just knows that, oh, okay, for people that we stress out of their scope of work like this is what we'd always have in place for them. But I'm interviewing you. I don't need to start telling you all of the fancy things and everything like that yet, right? I just want to get to know you. And I'm saying, how open are you to certain circumstances that are beyond us? And you're telling me that as long as, like, you're giving me a condition, that means at any point in time, you'd always have a condition for certain things that are out of scope, and you would not be open to flexibility that much. I would go for B, because B will not stress me. And like I said, yes, there might be like a reward in place, but then I didn't have to say that to get this. So this person is showing me signs of flexibility, and most likely will be a self-motivated person, because I don't need to motivate you with money. So the other person, it's only money that can motivate them to do extra. But this other person, value is already their motivation. As long as I get it done and delivered, I don't mind. So you need to embrace flexibility, then maintain high demand technical skills, like we've mentioned as well, and then build an impressive portfolio. Pardon my English here. I wrote A. You need to build an impressive portfolio, and then you need to create a job application strategy. First, having two resumes, master resume that has all your experiences and your tailored resume, and understanding the hiring process of organizations, and paying attention to the job description and requirements of a particular organization that you're trying to apply to. Mastering the art of storytelling while you're talking about your technical skills or your behavioral skills and scenario-based question. So where do I apply for as many jobs as possible, right? Because I mean, if you want to land the job and apply everything I've been saying since, the first step is to apply for jobs, right? I mean, you have gained the skill. Now, before you apply for the jobs, you need to gain the experience. I have talked about how you can gain it, and that it has two ways that can, which is the two valid ways to gain experience: projects, internship. Now, let's talk about jobs. Here are the different job boards that you can take a look at. Total Jobs. Like I said, we'll be sharing this material so you have access to it. So we have different job boards: LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, sorry, repetitive slide, Career Builder, and a lot of that. So now you might be wondering, okay, it's all scattered because I think I have nothing less than 30 jobs listed there. Is there a platform where I can access all of this? Yes, I'm Dari, and I will love to share the screen with you on that end, just briefly. So Amdari Job Board gives you access to seeing as many jobs as possible across different industries, right? And different career paths. And it is gotten from all these platforms: GitHub, link. So you don't need to go to Simply Hired to see their data science job. You don't. So after you go to Simply Hired, you apply for jobs there. You now go to Glassdoor again. Oh, what are the listed jobs? You apply. It's too much of work. It's not in one place. Amdari has brought it to one spot for you. And you can see that we collect jobs every day, right? This is a business analyst role, for example. This is a senior You can see that it's in the US, and every job on Amdari job board is remote, purely remote. So you can apply, and you can see that we have the figures there as well. And all the jobs on Amdari are US, UK, and Canada. So you can get a remote job from the Amdari job board and apply for as many jobs as you want. Again, remote, purely remote. So these are ways that we are helping you build capacity. And you can see that it spans to even over 27 pages. So this is how you can keep applying. And because we fed these jobs almost every 2 days, you can apply before a lot of people have applied, right? And you can see this is a job in the US, this Canada. So this, and you can see it spans across different career paths. We have cybersecurity, we have business analyst, we have project manager right here, we have product business analyst, we have a lot, we have data analyst, and you can easily filter. We have HR as well. You can filter by location if you just want Canada alone. Let's say we just want Canada jobs alone. So you can see all the jobs appearing, Canada, 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 and all of it. Even if you scroll down, it will still all be Canada, 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 as you can see. And let's say you want to search by location. Let me type data scientist. I don't need to finish typing it. As you're typing, it's already filtering. You can see data science internship, remote, data science internship, different jobs like this, and full-time jobs as well. You can see part-time, full-time, remote. Every job on Amdari remote, full-time, part-time, contract, and yeah. And you can see this one says 23 to 38 USD per hour. So if you see anyone that doesn't have a price salary range, it's because the company itself didn't add it there. So these are ways that Amdari is setting you up for success and giving you access to job opportunities every time. So you can see that we collected jobs from all these platforms, and then we have it just here on Amdari. If this is exciting, can you give me a thumbs up? Like, you love the fact that you can apply to jobs on just one centralized platform. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Princess, Ada, Tope, and everyone else, because it's taking away the names so fast. All right, great. So moving on to the career paths that Amdari caters for, and how you can also benefit as per internship. So we have the business analysis. I listed all of these career paths as the ones that would be in high demand, and the demand for them would increase by 30% in 2025. So we have the business analysis, agile project manager, cybersecurity, data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, HR analyst, financial analyst. We have all of these jobs that you can intern as at Amdari. Thank you. And I would love to show us the internship page briefly. So let me just, like I said, I'll still show us what the portfolio website looks like. So this is the internship page, Rave by Amdari. Rave stands for Remote Apprenticeship Virtual Experience, and it says the only platform that guarantees real-world work experience through real-life projects. And when you click on this, I don't want to scroll down, so that's why I didn't scroll down. I just want to show you the project. So current work experience programs. It says gain global work experience in any of these tech careers. So you can see that the tech careers are the ones I mentioned: HR, data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, financial analytics, business analysis, project management. You can see they are career paths that are in high and hot demand. Now, let's say I select data analytics internship and I apply now. I'm redirected to this page that shows me details about the career path, right? And if I scroll down, I can see the overview. The duration of the internship is 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months because we are giving professionals access to flexibility. We recommend 6 months, but because some of them are career switchers, so they still have their other jobs. So some will say, oh, what if I just want to like spend 3 months because of my work? I don't think I would have enough time to spare for like 6 months. But we have some that are like, oh, the 6 months is perfect. So, but we recommend 6 months because the last 3 months, there's still so much that you can gain. Now, we don't call our interns. We call them data analytics consultant, data science consultant, data engineering consultant, project management, like that, like that. The internship is remote. And the reason why we call them these consultants is because the experience is immersive. It's a proper real world experience. I mentioned that they have stand-ups earlier. I mentioned that they have interaction on Slack. I mentioned that they have teams. I mentioned that they report to a supervisor, team lead, stakeholder. It's a proper experience, right? Stakeholder from our business partners. So it's like a consulting with Amdari for these business partners, right? And it starts from a beginner level and immerses you to make you like very advanced, right? And you're learning a lot of skills beyond hard skills. You would see, can you see data storytelling? Can you see communication? So in addition to all of these hard skills, data visualization, analysis, and everything, you're also gaining soft skills because you're interacting with a team and people, supervisors, stakeholders, and all of that, right? So these are ways and these are tools as well that you get to work with. And these are projects that you still get to like build your portfolio with. So as you're working on real business cases and challenges and gaining impactful knowledge and experience that you can add to your CV, you still have practice projects that you can use to improve your skills. And these projects are all with business context, so it's still very solid. It's not just practice projects like you just randomly see online, right? So moving on, let me share my other screen. I'll come back to the other screen. So it says, these roles require me to have 2 years of experience. What do I do? So I already showed us what our internship looks like, which is the Rave by Amdari that I just showed us. Now, this is the approach. We have a business partner. So they present to us their unique data challenge or their cybersecurity related challenge, maybe IT security challenge, or they have a product to build where the project managers and business analysts comes into the picture. They give us this challenge. We set up the team from our interns, right? Team 1, team 2, team 3, and all of that. You guys come together, have your meetings, brainstorm, and just come up with a solution to that challenge. Once you come up with a solution to that challenge, you present your solution to your team lead, your supervisor, and also the stakeholder from the other company. So like I said, you're impacting a real business. This is how our work experience program works, right? And when you're done, this experience you've just gained, this impact you've just made, you add it to your portfolio and you get a LinkedIn recommendation and 2 years work reference letter, 2 years international work reference letter, as you can see right here. And then you use the experience during your interviews, as you can see here, and then you add it to your CV that you worked with Amdari, as you can see here. And this work reference letter will be presented to you on demand within the space of 2 years, as long as you request for it. Now, let me show you what our portfolio website looks like. If this is exciting, can you please give me a thumbs up? I just want to see how excited you are. All right, awesome. Okay, great. So I will be sharing my other screen to show us what the internship looks like. Like I said, just give me a minute, please. Let me fix my lights. Just a minute. All right, thank you very much. I'm back. So as I was saying, right, let me quickly show us the portfolio page. Okay. All right, so I'll be sharing what the portfolio page looks like now. I believe I'm sharing the screen. Yeah. All right. So now, heading to portfolio page. This is what the portfolio page looks like. This is the overview, but this is the most exciting aspect, and that is your portfolio website. You can see right here, this is your nav bar, my portfolio overview, my portfolio website, projects, tools, skills, contact me. Now, when you scroll up, you'd see that it says my portfolio. And then it introduces me. Hi, I'm Victoria Sampson, a data engineer from Nigeria. How do you generate this portfolio? All you need to do is just fill a form and it is auto-generated for you, right? Let me be sure that's you guys, okay, yeah. And it is auto-generated for you. And here it says, welcome to my portfolio. Sorry, let me close that. Welcome to my portfolio website. I am passionate about creating solution, driving impact, and continually growing in my field. I thrive on tackling challenges, collaborating with diverse team, and delivering impactful, meaningful results. Contact me. If they click, it shows them this pop-up that displays your contact, that's your phone number, your location, your LinkedIn URL, job title, and all that. Now, you can see on your image here that there is X link and then LinkedIn link icon rather. Clicking on this will take us to my page because I already linked my account to it. So recruiters can easily click and they'll go to my LinkedIn or my X. So we use these two because they are the more professional ones compared to Instagram, which is more like lifestyle and all. If you want to share your profile with anyone, just click on this, right? Just click on this and it will show them this pop-up of your of the 4 options that you can use in sharing your portfolio. You want to share on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, or WhatsApp, and you can just choose to copy it like this. You can see it says copy to clipboard, and when you copy it, you can paste it, that link, you can paste it in your on your LinkedIn, that part that says my website, paste it there, and anybody will be able to access your website anytime. They will not be able to see all of this because this is private to you alone. So they will just see your entire full website. Now let's scroll down to see the other aspects. So now this shows my years of experience, number of projects I've worked on, projects I've completed. This is about me. Hi, I am a data analyst. Welcome to my portfolio page, right? I can edit it easily. You can see this edit is private to me again because this is my page. So that's why if you share it with anybody, they will not be able to edit. It's just going to be you who can edit. So just write about yourself, what you do, pretty much your professional background, like anything you want them to know about you professionally. And this scroller is just telling them that you're available for hire and everything like that. Then when they scroll down, dive into my project, discover the work that defines my expertise and delivers real world value. So I've only added 2 by the way, so that's why you just see it here. So it shows the category, like the career path, and then the level of your project or the work that you've done. So if it's in data engineering, this will just show data engineering, intermediate, data science, beginner, or advanced. I can delete it, I can edit it, I can view more if I have more than this, and it will take me to my page. Then this is my specialization as well, right? And this shows the tools I'm proficient in, right? This is my skills, right? And this is my experience and my education. You can add your career related certifications or your academic background and experience. So this is what the Amdari portfolio website looks like. And right here, they can contact you, send you an email, reach out to you on LinkedIn or X. So this is what your portfolio website looks like. If this looks like a perfect website that you cannot wait to have for yourself and build for yourself, please can you give me a thumbs up. And like I said earlier, it's a platform that you have access to for free once you enroll for the internship or apply for the internship. And even after your internship, it's still something you have access to for life. Now, if you build a website, typically a portfolio websites, honestly, the cost, I think a portfolio website would not cost less than 300,000 right now with a junior developer type of thing. And you need to maintain it every year. So you'll be paying that developer for maintenance, and you need to subscribe for domain name every year. Like you renew it every year, and you need to renew your hosting every year as well. Now with Amdari, you don't get to pay all of that. Like your portfolio is just there. When we make upgrades, edits, and changes to the platform, you don't get to have to pay to access that type of change. It just reflects, your platform just keeps looking better and better, and can just share with any recruiter easily. And this is how you can easily add more projects, even external projects to it. Like, it's not limited to the projects on Amdari. You can add external, as many as you want, right? So yeah, these are ways that Amdari is helping you to solidify your experience and position yourself for that better opportunity. So I've already broken down how the Amdari internship works. So pretty much, we still give you access to 6 to 8 real industry-based projects on the platform, which is here. Just a minute, let me show you. So all these projects spans across data science, data analytics, data engineering, and this is it. You can see the industry. I was talking earlier about industry experience. You can see energy, logistics, and supply chain, healthcare, travel, FMCG, fashion, and like that. Specialization as well. It's very lengthy. So you can see it just keeps going. You can browse it when you sign up, www.amdari.io. That's how you access our website. Now, our projects are like beginner level, intermediate, and advanced. And then we have tools as well that spans across Python, SQL. All these tools have projects under them. What they do is they help you enhance your skills in these tools. They help you get better at working with these tools. They help you get improved and even become like advanced professionals working with these tools. These projects are guided, and I would love to click on one of this. So just to show you what it looks like, we'll be rounding up the session shortly. So you can see this project. Just once you just click on continue, because I've already started working on the project. Otherwise, it will say start project. I can access my data sets from here. You can see I can just click and it will download it, right? So let me go back. I can just click and it downloads it. I can watch an installation video here. As you can see, just easily watch an installation video, and I can watch all of the guided videos. Let me show you what the guided videos looks like. Okay. All right, so just a minute waiting for that to. So you can see that she said something about walking you through. So that's how they walk you through the entire process, right? Of watching the projects and how you can solve that business challenge yourself. So let me come back here. So we give you access to all these projects for free when you enroll for internship, because typically these projects would cost like $400, 400 plus to 500, just for you to have access to them. But with the internship, it comes for free. You have access to it for 6 months, right? And you work with a cross-functional team. You work on multiple industry experience, multiple role experience, multiple technology experience, teamwork and project collaboration, increased confidence for future roles, networking opportunities as well. And then we help you with your CV revamp and review, LinkedIn optimization, mentorship, career coaching, interview preparation, everything I've been talking about earlier. Amdari just gives you that, because it's just a case of, oh, Omomi, you said we should do this. You said we should do that. Where can I do it? Amdari is just the answer, to be honest. Like experience, preparing for an interview, mock interview, CV revamp, mastering the art of storytelling, everything like that, online portfolio builder, international work reference letter, everything like that is presented to you by Amdari. Now, our next cohort for internship starts on 7th of January. If you're excited about joining the next cohort, please can you give me a thumbs up? Like you can't wait, you would love to join the Amdari internship cohort. Please give me a thumbs up, because our registration is closing on the 15th of December. I think that's next Saturday or so. So you have like today till next Saturday to secure your spot as the thank you. I see all the reactions. Thank you. So the registration is closing very soon. So if you would love to like secure your spot, now is a good time to do so. You can see all the career paths that we cover, right? Oh, I didn't add business analysis and project management. It's actually one of it. Okay, I added it. Okay, it's here. All right, so it's all part of it. So you enroll for the internship, secure your slots, starts January 7th. The next one is starting in February. So if you love to join the January one, now is a good time to secure your spot. Now, typically it costs $400 or 400,000 naira, but because we are running a discount right now, we're giving you at $300 and 300,000 naira, and you can pay in 3 installments. That means you can pay 100,000 first, and then pay 100,000 later after a month, and then pay another 100,000 later. Like I said, you have access to remote job board, the online portfolio builder for life, which has sites forever, international work preference letter, and you also get to access our employability session, CV revamp and review, right? LinkedIn optimization and career coaching session. So, are you excited about this? If this is an opportunity you'd love to jump on, can you please give me a thumbs up? Thank you. Awesome. Like I said, you can pay in 3 installments, right? And the next cohort starts. Thank you. I see all the reactions. Thank you. So it's a very well packed one. You have access to the job board, and we start encouraging you to start applying for jobs back to back from the third month. So because the success of this internship for us at Amdari is to see that people are already benefiting beyond just the experience they've gained, but oh, some are already getting jobs, like you're applying, all of the things that we are exposing you to and giving you access to is already helping you build capacity and helping you position right. So everything I have shared here today, they are things that we have lined up, because trust me, 2 hour session is not enough to even break down behavioral question answering method or something, right? But you can just already see that, oh, these are things that I'm supposed to pay attention to. These are things that I'm supposed to know how to do and learn how to do and everything like that. And Amdari gives you all of this for free. So like I said, if you're interested, it would be nice to have you on board. So my colleague would definitely be in touch. I see all the reactions and it's been exciting speaking to everyone. So I'll take questions now, because I promised that at the end of the session, the next thing would be to take questions. So thank you very much, everyone. I have my eyes glued to the question, to the chat box, just to see the question. Okay, Shama says, can I apply for this internship in 6 months? Because okay, you just enrolled for a Salesforce course already. Okay, yeah, you can apply for it in 6 months. The internship is all year round, so you can apply for it when you feel ready. But for those who are already looking to like start 2025 strong and already start positioning as early as possible, the January cohort is ideal. So it will be perfect for you to take that opportunity and enroll, so that, I mean, by the time you're getting to like April next year, you can already start attesting to the fact that, oh, okay, yeah, I can, start applying. I have the capacity already and stuff like that. So for people who just want to like jump on it earlier, definitely the general cohort is perfect for you. So I'm still reading more questions. Okay, some people have their hand raised, so I'll attend to that. I just want to be sure that I'm not missing any. So in case I miss your question, because we have a lot of reactions in the chat. So in case I can't see your question, please feel free to type it in. All right. Again, but I'll start taking questions from people right now. So okay. So who am I going with? Hi, Yunus Shoaibu. Please proceed.